every county is different. And again, it's good to reach out and look on counties' websites or municipal websites to see how it's handled. So in Ozaukee County, the municipalities that have sirens, they own, maintain, decide to install, replace, all of those things. They belong to them. The county's role is we are the warning point because we have the centralized dispatch center. We're the point where the sirens get turned on and turned off appropriately. And that's been that way now for a few years. It used to be kind of fractured up. Certain communities had their own dispatch centers. They've all been consolidated into one over a number of years, so that's really the county's role. When you go into Milwaukee County, it switches. The county owns all the sirens, so they are completely in control of everything.
So when the sirens go off in Ozaukee County, do they go off everywhere, or is it up to each municipality?
So right now, all of our municipalities operate under the same policy. We all set off to the same determination, which is a warning issued by the National Weather Service for a tornado. They won't be used any other time, just in that case. The dispatch sets them off. Right now it's an all or nothing for the county. So if even one little piece of the county is in that warning zone, the entire county is set off. Having a person read through all of the text from National Weather Service just takes too long, and we want to keep that time to warning down as little as we can. We don't want somebody to miss something inadvertently, so it's kind of an all or nothing deal. That is changing. Technology changing. Some projects we've got going on with dispatch and upgrades and stuff, it will be more automated. So we will be able to get a little more granular with what sirens go off based on what the National Weather Service has issued for that warning box. So only the communities touched by the box should be sounded in the future. And it's something we've been working to for quite a long time.
Oh, great. Is there a time frame?
I know it's in progress, but I would expect by tornado season next year, although there really isn't a tornado season, but I would say definitely by spring of next year.
Oh, great.
Well, emergency management, our role kind of varies a little bit, and it is different between county to county and county to state, state to federal. Everybody has a little bit different role. Counties will do things a little differently sometimes, so knowing how your county handles things kind of gives you a better idea of what all is entailed in emergency management in your local area. So reaching out, seeing them, when we're out at fairs and festivals and things like that, always a good time to ask questions. So basically, across the board, what we do is we get involved in a lot in risk assessment and planning to mitigate risks, communicate those risks, and try and lessen the impacts when something does happen. It's really kind of an all-hazard thing, but as we all know, Wisconsin, particularly this part of the state, we're probably more susceptible to severe weather than most other things. The top two are usually severe weather, some sort of hazardous materials release, whether it's a vehicle accident or an industrial issue, something like that. Those are usually the top ones. And then the impacts that come from that. Power outages during severe weather, those types of things. So it's kind of overall planning on, do we need to shelter people? Are there programs that we can do to harden facilities, whether it's with generators or maybe raising structures out of a floodplain or relocating. And then it goes deeper into like when we're planning new municipal facilities that, those are up to the current hardened standards and not in a floodplain and those types of things. So there's a lot that goes into it.
And you also do boating, right?
Yes, so Ozaukee County, we run the Marine Search and Rescue out of our office. It's part of the Sheriff's Department and it's managed by Emergency Management. So we do a lot of boater safety and a lot of response work out on Lake Michigan, out of Port Washington. It just so happens we are the exact halfway point between Sheboygan and Milwaukee, so we kind of fill in a gap that the Coast Guard has for immediate response. So we do get quite a bit of work sometimes in the summertime and the boating months.
So how far out do you guys go over the lake?
So we will go out to the state line, to the state of Michigan, which can vary from anywhere from about 22 miles to 35 miles off the coast of Ozaukee County. Most of our operation, I will probably 12 miles or less. That's where a lot of the recreational boating happens. When you're out further, it's people making a crossing or commercial, so not as much out that far. But 12, 15 miles is not an unusual response for us as far as offshore. But then the total area we cover is about 880 square miles, so it's quite a big chunk.
So, any advice for the general public? Is there something that you want to tell people that, you know?
So I just being personally prepared, having a communications plan of family and friends to reach out to. We're okay, or we need a place to stay. Have a plan to be able to leave the home for a couple of days on short notice. Think about, okay, well, how do we deal with our pets? What do we need to take? Make sure you're taking medications with you. Maybe some important papers if you need them. We all know we probably store a lot of that stuff on our phones now, but have a way to charge your phone, because if you can't access it, that can be a problem. It comes down to, people, pets, pills, purses, papers is what we say. So you take all that with you, because you don't know how long it's going to be. It could be a couple hours, it could be days. Especially look at what happened in Menasha. Some of those people are going to be displaced for quite a long time.
And prepare for power outages.
Yep,
Wow.
power outages as well. Home generators, they can be quite expensive, but portable generators, make sure you're using them safely, away from windows and doors, not inside. And make sure that what you're powering with them it's capable of. There's a lot of good web resources on ready.gov that can point you to information that goes through the detail of what you can and can't do. And then also, think about that. What do you do? Do you have coolers that you can put things in and go buy ice somewhere, that sort of thing?